Good morning, everyone. It is finally fall, and I have found myself in the beautiful state of Vermont. And today is a unique adventure because I will be van life camping here at an apple orchard. And I plan to pick some apples, go through a corn maze, carve some pumpkins, all around a cozy campfire, make some delicious fall meals for the day, and it's gonna be a blast. And Millie and I are starting our day off just right with a nice hot cup of tea and a morning stroll through this beautiful road. These leaves are really starting to change here, and if you know anything about Vermont fall, it gets really vibrant here, so I'm really excited to experience that. But today's gonna be a really fun day. I need to go into town, get some groceries, take a shower, and then we'll get to the fall festivities. So follow along. So I found this spot on an app called HipCamp. It's another one of my apps that I use to find campsites in sticky situations. I was having a hard time finding a place here in Vermont that's free to camp at. So I went on HipCamp and found this place for like $40 a night or something. And it's a whole apple orchard. It's freaking awesome. So later today, I'm gonna pick some apples, go through the corn maze with Millie, carve some pumpkins, and make a fire in this beautiful fire pit that's right here. It's gonna be a good day. I can't wait.
Nice.
Oh no, yikes. I'm spinning out. I can't get up this hill. I need to back up and get some momentum. Okay, so there's this hill in front of me. It's like a slight hill, but it's all grass, and the grass is a little wet from the dew this morning, and my tires are just spinning out because these vans are two-wheel drive. So I'm going to have to floor it up this hill. Wish me luck. Ooh, I am barely making it up this hill. Oh my gosh, this grass is wet. This is crazy. It's not even muddy, it's just wet grass. Well, this is convenient. There is a Planet Fitness, which is the gym that I use to shower on the road, and a Walmart right next to each other in the same parking lot. Love when that happens. Okay folks, I'm gonna run inside to Planet Fitness and take a quick shower. I would take you guys with me, but I don't feel comfortable filming in there considering it's against the rules. So I'll see you guys in a minute.
So it's like Millie just fucking chilling in there? A little douchey.
All right, I'm all freshened up. I decided to whip out the fall grill since we're doing some fall activities and it's nice and crispy outside. Next up on the agenda is to go into
What's
Walmart
cool?
and get some
Mad respect.
ingredients
Fucking.
for this fall feast
Yo, what's up, bro?
tonight.
Mad respect though for wearing shorts in the cold weather. Cold. I'm not sure what it is there. It's clearly comfortable enough for him to leave his dog in his van, and I'm not a big fan of that.
Delicious apple crisp. So we'll have to pick some apples at the apple orchard, but there are a few things I need to get from here. And on top of that, I'm thinking about making some pumpkin chili for dinner and then have the apple crisp afterwards. Should be pretty good.
I was telling my parents about it today. I want to do this life so hard.
$50, but it'll be worth it. I even got a candle and a pumpkin carving kit for our festivities for tonight.
My man.
I'm so excited.
Da baby.
All right, here we are. Home sweet home. Peck Farm Orchard. This spot is so beautiful. All that farmland back there. Got a nice cozy fire pit right up against this beautiful pond. And then the apple orchard is right behind the van here. Millie's having a good time playing with her toy. We've got nice clear sky for my solar and Starlink. We've got everything. Now that I've got the camp set up.
Let's go. He only has one though. I feel like he was like, I feel like I hope he's responsible with that dog, because I got instantly like fucking like what up with the fucking leaving in the car. He did very much make it apparent that he was like venting it well enough. I really hope he is. What the fuck? That was super fucked. way, bro. Oof.
I think it's time to hit the apple orchard, go pick some apples, and indulge in some fall activities. So this apple orchard is actually open to the public here, so anyone can come here, pick apples, go through the corn maze. You don't have to be camping here. As a matter of fact, I was talking to the owner and he said that this whole camping thing is a new thing they're trying out. And honestly, I think this is so cool. To be able to camp right here at an apple orchard, go and pick some apples is so sick. And the campsite is pretty secluded too. You have to go through the front gate and then drive around the back side of the orchard to get to it. So it's a pretty good spot. So this year has been a really weird year for New England in general. They've gotten so much rain this summer, it's been crazy. And they even had a late frost, which caused a lot of these apple orchards to suffer and not grow any apples. And there's only a few apple orchards around here that actually have apples that you're allowed to pick. But Vermont specifically experienced a lot of rain and flooding even, which caused the apples to look a little ugly this year, but they're totally fine to eat. There's just like this weird little fungus on the outside of it. They're just a little bit ugly.
That's so crazy. Like, why don't we have like more of that?
Ooh, that's an ugly looking apple right there.
Oh.
Wow. That's good. Okay, apples have been acquired. Probably got way too many, more than I need, but we got them. We're ready for the feast tonight. I'm gonna throw these in the van real quick.
I wonder if you can fish with apples.
Cider donuts. Now let's go check out that corn maze. Let's see what that has to offer. All right, here we are at the corn maze. Let's hope we don't get too lost. Oh, wow. The sound of the corn stalks brushing together through the wind. Okay, which way do we go, left or right? Millie, what do you think? Oh, you think right? All right, let's do it. I actually don't know anything about this corn maze. I don't know how big it is, how long
Just
it
chill,
is.
like, I don't give a fuck.
So I might actually get lost. Who knows?
What's good about corn mazes? You can just like walk through the corn.
After about 15 minutes of walking through the maze,
It's a bunch of bullshit.
we made it back out. We're so freaking good, dude.
He's so douchey.
All right, it's time to pick out a pumpkin. Ooh, this one looks really nice. It's got a nice face. Oh, wait, Millie, what?
What sucks is I've never met him. I'm a fan. Like, we would never get along. He'd be like,
something that I can keep in the van. If I get something too big, I don't know. That'll be a little cumbersome to tote around. But this is like perfect. All right, pumpkin has been acquired.
I'm too critical.
Now let's head back to camp. Maybe start a campfire, watch the sunset, and start making some dinner.
Let's go. Let's go, bro. Oh no. What the fuck? Oh. What? Jesus Christ, bro. Dude, what? Come on. It's just nuts, dude.
All right, I think it's about that time to start making some dinner. And what's on the menu for tonight is a recipe that I've never made before, so this will be my first shot at it. But it's a pumpkin chili, and then I'm gonna have an apple crisp for dessert with freshly picked apples straight from the orchard.
And bourbon.
All right, let's get to it. And to be honest, I am just following a recipe that I found online, and if you want this recipe, I'll leave a link to it in the description of this video. And in short, the recipe calls for some diced red pepper, onion, with some spicy Italian sausage, fire roasted tomatoes, some pumpkin puree, kidney beans, black beans with some sea salt, black pepper, cinnamon. I should have got fresh garlic, but I forgot, so I'm using minced garlic here with some chicken broth and some
I hate
olive
kidney
oil.
beans. I
Super
hate
simple,
them.
should be pretty delicious. Oh, and I got a pumpkin carving kit, so we're gonna carve something amazing tonight.
Carve that fucking thing. Do it. Do it.
I'm gonna drain and rinse these beans off. Oops. Definitely don't want that on there. Okay, so now that this sausage is browned, I'm gonna put it off to the side and start cooking up those bell peppers and onions. Now I'm just gonna cook these a little bit until they soften up, and then I'm gonna season them with all the goodies. But man, it is smelling good in here. And look at this view.
Oh my God, that's so incredible.
This is so beautiful. The sun setting over that way. It's starting to cool off, getting a little crispy outside. I'm excited to carve that little pumpkin out there right next to the fire. And you know what? Since I'm having a nice fall festive dinner, I figured I might as well make Millie something a little festive. So I'm gonna spice up her dinner a little bit with some pumpkin puree. Just a little bit. I don't want to upset her stomach. Come on, Millie. Come. Sit. Sit. Down. Good girl. Free. All right, that's looking good. I'm gonna throw some garlic in there. Again, I definitely wish I would have gotten fresh garlic, but this is all I've got. Totally forgot. Now I'm doing 2 teaspoons of cumin, 2.5 tablespoons of chili powder, 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, some salt, and some black pepper. I'm gonna stir this up for about 30 seconds. Woo, that smells amazing. That cinnamon is really cutting through that chili powder. Now we're gonna deglaze that pan with the fire roasted tomatoes. 2.5 cups of chicken broth, which I think is this whole box, but just to be sure, I'm gonna measure it out. And this whole can of pumpkin puree. And I'm actually really curious to see how much this pumpkin puree cuts through this recipe. Pumpkin puree is not very flavorful, so we'll see. It might just thicken it up a little bit, but it's a fun experiment, you know?
I like it.
Stir this up, bring it to a boil, and then let it simmer. Oh shoot, I almost forgot the sausage. So let's throw that in here as well. I forgot all the beans too. Dang, dude, I am slacking. Can you tell I've never made this before? Okay, I am going to let that simmer.
Douche.
And then we are going to feast in this beautiful field.
Sorry.
Ain't that right, Millie? I figured while that's simmering, might as well start peeling these apples, getting ready for this apple crisp that we're about to whip up. Millie, you having fun? Yeah? She's having such a blast out here. Man, I can smell that chili from out here. Oops, forgot to take this off. Boom. 4 apples, nice and shaved up. All right, let's go inside and check on that chili. Ooh, it smells so good in here. Oh my gosh. I think it's about done though. Let's serve this bad boy up.
Oh, you gotta let that go for like hours, bro.
Wow. This looks so amazing.
Looks like soup.
Millie, you have made such a mess. Oh my gosh. Millie, I need to teach you how to clean up after yourself. You sure do know how to make a mess out here. But honestly, I don't even care. I'm just glad you're having fun. That's all that matters. Wow, look at this view. This is so gorgeous. It's beautiful fall farmland.
It's like there's no bugs though, you know what I mean? Like I feel like
pumpkin and my hot pumpkin chili that I'm about to feast upon. Oh, you know what I forgot to get? Some sour cream or some shredded cheese and avocado. Break.
Raw onion.
Always forgetting something, man. Oh well, I bet it'll be amazing.
Sour cream and like if you would have reduced that a lot more.
It's hot, but it is good. Millie, did you come to rescue me? It's okay, I'm good, I'm solid. I just burnt my tongue a little bit.
But Dad, you good, bro? You good, bro? You okay? You being
I
loud.
should have waited for that to cool. But I was just too I'm excited.
What? Give me some of that. I want some of that. It smells good as
It's
fuck.
really good, Millie. It's just
Yeah,
really
I know.
hot.
That's why I want some.
No big
Give me
deal.
some. Kiss.
I need some water. Frick.
All right,
Millie,
I ain't
hold
gonna
down
eat
the
it.
fort. Don't eat the chili, okay?
All right.
Don't eat the chili.
What you say? Don't eat the chili for?
Good girl. You didn't eat the chili. You're so good. Such a smart little puppy. Millie, that's bad manners. No paws on the table, okay?
Man, fuck you.
Wow.
Oh, Smurf, what's up, bro?
And the best part is, it's not even over yet, baby.
What's up, baby? Yeah, dude, get a good fire going. Ah, it's the best.
The main problem with making new recipes like this for me is that they're usually sized out for like a family of 4 or 5. And I'm just a dude.
I do the same
living
fucking
in a
thing.
van, and now I've got this massive pot of chili that I have to eat off
I
of
do
for
that
the
same
next
fucking
week.
thing, bro.
So it's a bit of a risk, you know. If I don't like the chili, I'm out of luck, man. Thankfully, I really enjoyed this one though. All right, I think it's about that time. I got a nice cozy fire going. My belly is full with some delicious chili, but I'm not completely satisfied yet. So I'm gonna start making this apple crisp with the fresh apples that we picked straight from the orchard today. And to start off, I'm gonna start slicing these apples, and it looks like on this recipe I didn't need to actually peel them, but I did anyway. So there you go. Do you guys hear that? Those are coyotes. Millie, you hear those coyotes?
Millie will fuck some coyotes up, bro.
Oh, they're coming from this way
Millie will fuck them up.
and that way, unless I'm hearing an echo.
I'm chilling, bro.
Pretty far away, so I'm not too worried. But coyotes do often go after dogs, so I'm gonna keep a close eye on Millie here. I don't want you getting eaten up by a coyote. Okay, these apples are all diced up, ready for cooking.
I feel like Millie will fuck them up. We're an actual fucking VR. We're not doing a resurgence. This is crazy. Finally, an automatic weapon. Jeez, bro. Bro, what? barely see him, man. What is this, dude? Play again, for fuck's sake. Jesus. So annoying.
All right, we're gonna do a half a cup of granulated sugar. We're gonna do half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon and a full teaspoon of vanilla extract. All right, that is looking good already. All right, now I'm gonna do half a cup of all-purpose flour, third of a cup of oats, half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar.
So much sugar, bro.
Salt. Man, cooking like this sure does make a mess, but it's worth it. Holy crap, it got dark quick. Glad we got this fire going though. That's a nice fire. Might have to go up and get some more wood. All right, I'm gonna put some melted butter in this topping mixture. All right, now we just sort of sprinkle it on top as evenly as possible. Boom.
Dude, that looks great, bro.
All right,
it looks so good.
Pop this into the oven for about 45 minutes to an hour. See you on the other side, buddy. All right, it's time to carve a pumpkin. It is a beautiful, clear night here, and it's actually not too bad outside. It's not too chilly, not too warm. It's a good night to carve a pumpkin while we wait for the apple crisp to finish cooking. Ooh, that is so satisfying.
It's so weird.
Ooh, oh my gosh, it smells so
Ooh,
good.
damn.
Oh yeah, it's done. Woo! I am so excited to eat this right now. You guys have no idea. These apples are cooked to perfection. It smells like fall. Oh my gosh. Wow, that is so flavorful. I really thought tonight couldn't get any better, but boy, was I wrong. I baked a delicious fall dessert right for my van using ingredients that I picked fresh from the orchard that was right behind my van. And I'm sitting here
Come on!
next to a cozy campfire, carving a pumpkin in Vermont. And you know what? To top it all off, I think it's a full moon tonight. So it's not quite a full moon, but it's basically a full moon right now. And it is beautiful, rising above the This is so cool.
That's pretty dope.
Okay, here's what we got. As you can see, doesn't really look all that special, but this candle is pretty big. So hopefully this doesn't put it out when I put the top on. Boom. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm not gonna lie. That's a pretty cool jack-o'-lantern. Let's put this guy by the fire. Oh yeah. That looks so freaking.
Let's go. What? Fucking A, man. Oh. Okay. Okay. Fuck's sake.
Looking cool next to the fire with the full moon back there. If you guys are wondering where Millie's at, she's in her bed. I think she's afraid of the dark, if I'm being completely honest, which is a good thing for me, because as soon as the sun sets, she puts herself to sleep and she stays in the van for the rest of the night. It's really adorable and it's really convenient, because the last thing I want is for Millie roaming around in the woods at night, especially with those coyotes that I heard earlier, among many other animals that could hurt her. So she's in her bed, hanging out, having her beauty slumber. And to be honest, I'm about to do the same thing. As soon as this fire goes out, I think I'm about ready for bed. It's been a long, long day.
Oh. Good Lord. Oh. Jeez. Whew. Whew.
I am getting chills just staring at this thing. I have no idea what this building is, what it was used for, but it is massive. And it looks like this building here is on side. I immediately got chills walking in here.
One more, and then I'm going back to Resurgence, or just YouTubing.
There's this huge piece of machinery.
Nice. Kind of an interesting spot. Chilling.
Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone. Stations, a jailbreak is active. Moving. Cancel last.
No, no. Oh my God, bro. Fuck me, dude. That was, I had that, bro. I had it. I saw the other guy too. Fuck me. Damn it.
Oh, this looks like some sort of control system for the mine. These levers here.
Dude, they're everywhere.
Control this over here.
They're everywhere, bro.
Storing old abandoned buildings like this that have.
You tell me what to play. I will fucking watch any conspiracy theory, except for flat
hard
Earth.
for me. These abandoned
That's
mines.
bullshit.
I don't get to go back and just sleep in my cozy bed.
That shit's just stupid. But I don't know why. I don't know why I'm so like tied to it. I feel like it's like an obvious thing, but like I haven't looked into it. I'm not gonna lie. Look at this fucking terrifying thing. Why build this? Oh no. Bath.
All covered in skunk smell. Those of you that watch my homesteading channel on TikTok already know the story because it's over there. If you're on another platform, all these videos are on the same account. Now, how do I remove skunk smell? I know there's something to do with tomatoes. I think you're supposed to use tomato puree or something, but I have tomato soup. So I just put minion in a pot and cover him in tomato soup. This stuff's a concentrate though, and I was hoping it would break up in the water, but it didn't really. Got fresh tomatoes out of the garden this year though. Maybe we'll use this as a soap bar. Will that work, Minion? Got that rinsed off. Now we'll put some other soap. Minion is not enjoying this process. Also forgot I have some V8 juice, so I poured that on him. Rinsed all that off and used baking soda and water. And then another round of V8 juice. What do you think, Minion? That's pretty cool style. You look awesome. Minion is so unimpressed. It's kind of cold out here. The water's not warm. After a bunch of different baths, he's smelling way better. And we need to warm up. With most of the skunk smell gone, I brought him into the camper. Used all the hot water. It's all covered in skunk. Those of you that watch my homesteading channel on TikTok already know the story.
That guy's fucking great, dude. Like, what is he doing? Shane.
The New York Post article was like, Australians are furious because I said they had no exports and they were doing nothing.
Yeah.
That's a good country, dude. There's a whole country doing nothing. That's what I like about them. They're just down there. Zero exports. Creating nothing, dude.
The last people on this planet that will be offended by anything
Australians.
are Australians.
Yeah.
They are down for a good
So they
time.
just made that up?
They made a show
they-
about
but there
drowning
was-
Indians.
I'm sure there's two tweets.
They love funny.
There's probably like two tweets. One of the tweets was like, that's not true. We actually export ore and camels. It's like nothing. New York.
Dude, you can probably convince me about we didn't go to the moon. I'm on the fence, you know, but fucking, you can probably get me there. For sure, JFK shit. I mean, do you talk about the ones that they haven't proven yet, or the ones they proved? Gulf of Tonkin's pretty fucked. That's fucked. You know, like fuck it. There's some ones out there. Did you guys know that fucking they talked about Pearl Harbor in Congress before Pearl Harbor happened?
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the sky.
Oh no! Do you have any evidence of this? Evidence of what, sir? Of what? Which one? God, I'm so trash.
Your fight's over, soldier. Return to base.
The harbor. I think you can Google it.
Failure ain't fatal. It's just an opportunity to do
New York Post article was like Australian.
I'm pretty sure that's a Googleable one. Googleable. I'll leave the match. I'm gonna watch some fucking conspiracy shit. Congress knew about Pearl Harbor.
There's a theory out there that FDR knew Pearl Harbor was going to be attacked and let it happen anyways, as a way to draw America into the war. There's a lot of parts to this, but one argument I've seen used as evidence is that the carriers weren't at Pearl. So where were they? Now it's worth noting that in 41, it wasn't clear that carriers would be as important as they were. But either way, the US had 3 in their Pacific Fleet: the Saratoga, the Lexington, and the Enterprise. The Saratoga had been stateside for months undergoing renovations. So let's look at the other 2. Tensions with Japan were high, and war wasn't out of the question. So the US started to reinforce some of their outposts. So on December 5th, the Lexington would shuttle more planes to Wake Island. Those would come in handy. The Enterprise had done the same for Midway, and was set to be back at Pearl on December 6th. Due to weather, they were delayed 1 day, but they were close enough to still get planes over Pearl while the attack was underway. There's a theory out there that FDR knew Pearl Harbor was going to be attacked and let it happen anyways.
So he says, "Nuh-uh." I'm pretty sure it was in Congress, though. Like,
I'm Indy Nidell.
And I'm Spartacus Olson.
And this is Across the Airwaves, where we read out some of your most interesting, most informative, or even controversial comments to bring them to a wider audience.
And sometimes we even comment on them.
We always comment on them. On the second episode of our 10-part Pearl Harbor miniseries, Chang writes, FDR knew that Japan was coming to Pearl Harbor and welcomed them. With the British spelling of harbor, I see. The problem with this claim, and with all such similar claims, is they assume that history happens in a vacuum. Now, here's what I mean by that. If you sit there and you think, I want it to be true that FDR knew about the attack on Pearl Harbor in advance and let it happen anyhow.
I don't care either way.
It is possible, and not that difficult, to reverse engineer a timeline of events that support that preconceived conclusion. You just have to ignore the rest of what happened in the world. You can explain this to your friends or to people who haven't studied a lot of history, and it will perhaps come off as...
Okay, we are 100% going to go back to that in a
when
second.
you're sitting there at the table and you hear them going by, and you hear that sizzle, and you smell that amazing aroma. This is what you got right here, friends. Let me tell you guys about fajita FOMO. Fajita FOMO is like when you go to a restaurant and you're trying to kind of like not eat too much and be sort of healthy. And so you order the grilled chicken salad, and then you hear it coming. Then it goes right by you to the next table, and you smell the incredible aroma of the fajita sizzling on that platter. And you're sitting there going like, oh, I should have ordered the fajita platter. And that, my friends, is fajita FOMO. Well, I don't think anybody should ever have fajita FOMO. So today, I'm gonna show you how to make some amazing restaurant-style fajitas. So there's 2 things you need to know about making restaurant-style fajitas. And first, is a delicious marinade, because it's all about that flavor. And that's exactly what a marinade does. It creates what I call a flavor bomb for your friends and your family. Now, you guys know that I love a fajita cooked over an open fire, but restaurants don't cook them that way. Restaurants use a hot griddle to sear those fajitas and give them that delicious, amazing char. So today, we're gonna make our fajitas on the made-in griddle. Vámonos! So we're gonna take 1/4 cup of olive oil first. We're gonna add 1 cup of water. This is 16 ounces, so about half of that is 8 ounces. Next up is 2 cups of beef broth. You can just add more water instead of beef broth if you want. You could even use chicken broth.
You know what's nuts is that like we're like in a world that you just go get beef broth. You know what I mean? Like if you wanted to have beef broth like on demand, you would have to fucking, oh my God, you need like shitty cuts of beef or bone and like a mirepoix and then like hours of time. Now you can just go get it. I have like 20 boxes of broth in my kitchen right now.
Broth. Today's marinade is good for anywhere from 2 to 5 pounds. You want enough liquid to cover all the fajitas. Dale's is a really good marinade. You can use 2 teaspoons of soy sauce. I like to use Dale's, and I'm using a 1/4 cup. Now, this is 2 limes that I'm using. It's probably closer to a 1/4 cup. Sometimes they're not quite that juicy, so you may need 3 or 4. Next up, we have an orange. Similar to the lime, the citrus acid will help break down the fibers and the connective tissue and just help soften that meat up and allow the marinade to penetrate deep into the meat. Onions and garlics are 2 flavors that everybody recognizes, and they're pretty much in any store-bought marinade you buy anywhere. Now, we're gonna use 1 whole tablespoon of fine ground black pepper. And last but not least, we're gonna use 3 tablespoons of wow. Now, wow was
Is anybody else not like pepper? I'm not a big pepper fan.
Originally created as a steak rub. All marinades have salt in them. I'm not using salt because I'm using the salt in the wow rub. And we're using 3 tablespoons. You can order it at pitmaster.us. People are gonna ask, why are you using powders instead of fresh onion or fresh garlic? You guys have seen me do that many times. But restaurants don't do 1 or 2 pounds of fajitas. They do pounds by the hundreds. So the only way to be really consistent and to prepare fast and efficiently is to use powders. You want to give it a little taste and just check your salt level. This right now is super savory, super delicious. Now here's another pro tip and a secret of restaurant-style fajitas. When it comes off the griddle, that's when you give it that last little shake of salt flavor. All right, now part of cooking these amazing fajitas is the prep and the cooking process. And so part of the prep, you want to cut your fajitas into thinner strips like this in about 1.5, 2-inch long strips. See how this is with the grain? Now we're going to cut our little strips, and you want to cut them across the grain. About 1/2 inch thick, really about all you need. I'm going to trim off some of this fat here. This membrane here is not going to render, so you need a nice, very sharp little knife to get under that membrane and get rid of it. Part of the secret
fuck that
to
membrane.
Some tender, delicious restaurant-style fajita.
I mean, I like my membranes.
To buy a tender piece of fajita. In this case, this is flap meat. Buy a tender piece of meat, and you will have some tender fajitas. Now, some restaurants use flank. Some real high-end restaurants use outside skirt steaks, which are always tender. Cost a little bit more, but it makes all the difference. Now, this big piece of meat here, I'm going to cut into a couple of strips of steaks. And I want to mainly do that to demonstrate to you guys that you can do it either way. You can either cook them as a nice little steak and then slice, or you can slice and marinate first and then saute them all in strips like that. All right, friends, we have our fajitas ready to go into the marinade. Look at that.
I like this
that
person.
looks so good. The griddle is even great outside on the grill. These delicious fajitas, and you can't have delicious fajitas without a really good salsa. We're also going to take a couple of the bigger strips that I left last night that we said we're going to make steaks out of. Ooh, listen to that sizzle. Yeah, buddy. Ooh, yeah, baby.
Ooh, daddy.
No, that does not squeeze all the juices out. It helps enhance the char. The trick is to not do it too long or overdo it. You just want to add a little press. All right, let's give these tomatoes a little flippity flip. Just want to char them a little bit. Move my onions around just a little bit so that they get a nice little char all the way around. That one doesn't want to flippity flip. Going back the other way. Flippity flip these fajitas. Oh yeah, baby. Look at that. Beautiful. Look at that beautiful char. That's what you get with high heat. Now we do want to do a little flippity flip. Remember what I always say? We want to keep the moisture in the meat. And the press really helps enhance that char in a much quicker fashion. Oh yeah, baby, look at that now. That's looking gorgeous. Mira, mira, mira, mira nomás.
Oh my God.
Chulada. Once you see that clear juice, you're done, friends. You don't want to overcook your steak.
I had steak tacos tonight.
These are steaks.
I'm so excited.
We're going to get these tomatoes out. We're going to scrape our griddle just a little bit, clean it up a hair. And that's one of the beautiful things about a carbon steel griddle. Once you have it nicely seasoned, all this stuff just comes right off. This is just part of the process. This is the same way all restaurants are going to do it. This is a morita chile. You can buy them in a can. It's called chipotle en adobo, but in dry form, it comes like this, just like the guajillo and just like a lot of the other dry chiles. This is the way it comes. I'm just gonna toast it very, very shortly. I've soaked them in water for a little while just to soften them up. Meanwhile, I'm gonna add some more fajitas over here with my tongs. I do go and rinse my tongs, and you hear them is gonna be a smooth sauce. That last little shake of salt or salt and pepper before it goes to the table. That one's perfect. It does not even need salt. Oh my goodness. On my tacos. This is a traditional South Texas #1 selling dish. Vámonos pa' dentro. That makes you want to dance. Cut for a little bit. I'm gonna finish my taco.
My man's not fucking around. Facts.
Howdy. On the road yet again. 7:43 in the evening. Working with about 23 degrees right now. It's the weekend. And I'm gonna be spending some time with family. And we're all supposed to meet up like in the cities at my aunt's place.
Okay.
Thanks for joining me. If you don't know already, my name's Colin. I go by Sober Colin, and I built out a van this summer at my parents' house in Pennsylvania. I am traveling across the country, just checking out places, and yeah, it's a journey. Let's start working on the van. Get this diesel heater cranking. A little chilly out in Pennsylvania. All right, so instead of cabinets, I got these like these net things that you just hang on the wall. So I got like 6 of them, so I'm gonna hang them all up on the wall, use those as my cabinets instead of rebuilding cabinets. And that's mainly because I don't want to take the time to build cabinets and I kind of just want to hit the road. Also, I really don't need that much stuff. It's just me on the road, so I think these net things will be fine. That's the plan. I'm gonna put these up and then repack the van with all my stuff that was in my cabinets. So much harder to open that door when you're on a hill. So much harder. turn my inverter on. Beep. Whoa. So these are what the nets look like. They stretch too. And the plan is basically just to put them up like this. Wow, they stretch pretty good, huh? All right, let's see how this goes. Did was I emptied them out, so I'm gonna put some kitchen stuff in here. I'm gonna put dry goods and food and stuff in there, and then I have 1, 2, so 4 in total of these drawers that I can use for like kitchen stuff, which is good. So I just kind of gotta sleep on it, really think about how I'm gonna organize all this stuff since I don't have cabinets now, and it was just Christmas, so I try to get work done well. Okay, first stop is actually Wawa. I need to get a water.
And a fucking get a hoagie, bro.
All right, nothing fell really. This fell, my GoPro box, but I think I had it sitting just up here, so kind of makes sense. But other than that short little ride, everything looks secure. But yeah, we're leaving Planet Fitness. It is 2 p.m. exactly, so yeah, we're gonna head back home. Unfortunately, it is still really crappy out. It is I actually don't know if it's raining or if it's just wet. I think it might just be wet out, so we're gonna try to get some more stuff packed into the van today. Hello, puppies. Hello, puppies. Hi.
Because they're the best ones ever. They're the best songs ever.
All right, guys. 3 hours later. 3 hours later, and I'm walking out to the van now. As you can probably tell, it is still really crappy out. I do not know if I am gonna work on the van tonight or not, but I figured I would at least end this video. End this video inside the van, because I feel like it's only right to end it inside the van. So yeah, so everything held up well on my little trip to Planet Fitness, the bank, and Wawa. Everything held up well, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna work on the van tonight, even though I said I was going to. Instead, I think I'm going to end the video here so that this video doesn't turn into a super long video. So yeah, I'm signing off, guys. I will see you guys next time.
My man has 464 videos up. What? There's a bunch of shorts. All right. I'm gonna subscribe just for fun. Maybe his van adventures go far. You don't fucking know, you know?
Perfectly plausible as long as you control the narrative. But if you follow the actual timeline of what happened, not only to do with Pearl Harbor, but the whole world, because again, history does not happen in a vacuum, then you come to the inescapable conclusion that it is not possible that Roosevelt knew of the attack and let it happen anyhow. I don't mean unlikely, and it doesn't even matter if deep down he was the kind of guy who might do such an evil thing to get what he wanted. It doesn't matter. It's not possible. Now, some of you might be saying, but he wanted war with Germany. So, doesn't matter. But what about the carriers? Doesn't matter. But the Japanese war plans in the 20s, doesn't matter. None of that matters. Let me tell you why. Well, first of all, what was the attack on Pearl Harbor? It was an attack on the U.S. Pacific Fleet at anchor to cripple it as much as possible so that all the other Japanese offensives that began that same time would not have to face the might of the U.S. until after Japan had both gained and secured a mighty empire bursting with resources. Okay? What the Japanese wanted to do by attacking the U.S. was to cripple its offensive ability. Now let's talk about the U.S. military in the Pacific. By late 1941, there were two main military groups there that were to serve as deterrents for Japan's growing military ambitions. Now, in our 10-part Pearl Harbor series, I talked about why they were there, what they were, strategy, background, etc. So I'm not going to do any of that now. But the two main deterrents were the fleet at anchor at Pearl Harbor and the Far East Air Force stationed on the Philippines. Now remember, at this time, Hawaii was not yet a state, only a territory. And the Philippines was an American commonwealth, soon enough heading for independence, but a big part of America's defenses and American. Now, George Marshall, Army Chief of Staff, loved those B-17 flying fortresses, and that was his big deterrent on the Philippines, the air fleet of B-17s that he had there and was beefing up month after month after month. In fact, the B-17s that flew into Pearl Harbor during the attack on it and who'd had their weapons removed so they could make the long flight from California nonstop, were assigned to eventually make their way to the Philippines. Anyhow, the thing about a deterrent, it's not a deterrent unless the enemy knows about it.
Oh.
By mid-November 1941, it was clear that the Japanese were aware of the dozens of B-17 Flying Fortress bombers on and arriving to the Philippines, and the fighters there that were their escorts. Those B-17 bombers can dominate the skies over the South China Sea from the Philippines, which all the Japanese transports carrying all the Japanese troops have to cross to get to nearly all the places Japan was about to attack. Two deterrents. If Japan is going to attack the U.S., which will obviously bring the U.S. into the war, then they want to knock out the Pacific Fleet as a fighting force, and they want to knock out the Far East Air Force as a fighting force. Just the fleet is not going to do the trick. But this is what they did on December 7th, 1941, which because of the time difference was already December 8th in the Philippines. They attacked both of them. Pearl Harbor got the headlines for the obvious visual and civilian reasons, and it was attacked first. But as anyone who follows this series knows, they were both attacked.
Of. Ne oluyoruz ya? Tipiye çevirdi ya.
Harika ya.
That's pretty dope.
Muhteşem bir sabah.
Ya çok güzel be.
Kesinlikle.
Of. Şöyle kuralım mı?
Olur. Bence güzel.
Değil mi?
Evet evet.
Bence gayet iyi.
Süper.
Tamam.
Bence çok güzel.
Ağır mı?
Çok ağır bu.
Hop.
Geriye çekelim biraz.
Birazcık çekelim ya. Çok çamura girdik.
Evet.
Evet, güzel. Buna tüküreyim ya. Ya her seferinde de bunu yapamam ya. Nasıl açık kalmış ki bu?
İçeriye girdi.
Ha. Ay. Hah. Canım tamam.
Kapatıyorum.
Kapat.
Ne oluyoruz ya?
Oo, tipiye çevirdi ya. Yine donmuş bunlar Sanoş.
Donmuşlar mı?
Vallahi donmuşlar. Oturdu mu?
Aha.
Güzel.
Ne oluyor?
Of. O neydi be? Hadi ya.
Aç.
Tuttun mu?
Tuttum.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Deva suyu kurayım mı?
Dur canım.
Güzel. Şunu koyalım. Şimdi ısıtacağım ben seni.
Tamam canım, ben de aydınlatacağım.
Bence de.
Of ya, kapkaranlık oldu. Hoş sıcacık burası.
Isındın değil mi?
Isındım.
Sığıyor mu?
Sığacak galiba.
Aa, çok iyi.
Tam sığdı.
Sıcak mı içerisi?
Ay çok güzel.
Oh.
Haydi gel.
Ne güzel ya.
Tell me it doesn't look like he's looking out into space right now.
Hah. Kuzu bir vursana oradan ya, bir atalım şu şeyi.
Vuruyorum.
Vur vur.
En üstten.
En üstten alta doğru. Hah. İndir indir indir.
Çekilsen de üstüne gelmesin.
Güzel. Tamam. Odunlar da geldi.
Oh.
Al bakalım. Dışarısı acayip soğuk.
This all seems so crazy to me.
Okay, so this is a Class B. It's a 4 sequence, about 22 feet. Don, the owner. Don, what made you buy a Class B RV?
The only thing I could see. It was up, and I had to find places up in Canada.
You're from Canada originally?
No, but I was up there for 15 years, and now I'm coming back.
Down in Florida. Beautiful Florida. Let's take a look side here. It's right off the passenger entrance. Look at this big entrance. Beautiful cabinetry. Wow, see, look at all this space. Again, I think this is about 22 feet long. You got a self-contained kitchen here. Your sink, 2-burner propane gas stove. So you even got a microwave oven. You got a refrigerator. I don't want to open that up. Yeah, see, and this is key. This is like the Travato, where you got single beds on each side or sitting areas. So you make one, your bed with a fan, perfect, and your other is like your workspace.
Mm-hmm. That's what I do.
Yeah, see, and you can stand up in here. You know, 5'11", 6 foot, and you got plenty of room. How does the AC work? Does that cool you down pretty good?
Well, you have to be. Yeah, it works. As long as you have
a hookup. Do you stay at campgrounds often, or do you mostly stealth camping?
No, I have not done very much.
There's another close one.
Yeah, I sort of wishes I would have had that.
The Mercedes chassis?
Well, not because of it, but just a little
more compact. You got more room in here, and this isn't diesel.
What's going on, guys? So today I am out here at Holiday World RV out here in Dallas, Texas, and we're gonna take a look at this really awesome Class B. This is a ProMaster based off a Ram 3500 chassis called the Sequence. This is a very, very cool Class B van. And
I
I know
love
that
this
there's
so
a lot
much.
of folks
It's insane.
who are interested in these Class
Hey, what's
Bs
up, Neon?
because they give you so much comfort, so much capability, all in a package that can get in and out of just about anywhere. And that's the really nice thing. I think the only feature this one's probably missing that I'd like is four-wheel drive. But, you know, there's a lot to like about this.
They don't exist.
With me is my good friend Miles. He is one of the sales consultants out here at Holiday
Come join
World,
Discord,
and
bitch.
he also has his own YouTube channel. So you want to talk about that for a second?
Yeah, so my YouTube channel is called Miles RVs. I've been making YouTube videos here at our dealership for about 2 years now. That more, but yeah, it's fresh water. You're going to have a 13-gallon wastewater and a 13-gallon gray water. Perfect.
Oh, shit.
Up top, I can already see we got some solar. How much solar is up top, do you know?
So on this one, it is a 190-watt panel that is up there.
Okay, and you told me something very unique about this vehicle. Let's walk around to the front real quick. So, I'm not going to lie, I am not a huge fan of the look of the Ram ProMaster. I kind of like a Sprinter look over that, or the Ford look, but this has always been kind of weird to me.
Yeah. So the biggest thing that this Thor sequence is coming with this year for just the different experience you have in the tech in here is they got rid of the generator. So there's no generator on here, but you still get all the same functionality you would have with that generator with the additional alternator that they put underneath the hood here that is working with your solar panel and the new lithium ion battery system. So you have 2 lithium batteries on here that is going to power this entire unit. So basically when you're out camping, how this is going to work, if you want to charge those batteries, which will essentially be running with the 3,000 watt inverter that it comes with, everything on this RV, all you have to do is turn on the engine and it is going to charge your batteries in there. And then the solar panel is also going to give you additional charge from that as well. Then you have really cool monitoring systems inside that tell you your exact battery level, how much battery life
my
you
God,
have
you
left.
fucking nerds. Show me
might
the...
actually
There we
hit
go.
this area up here, but you have a couple adjustments here to actually change the seat height as well and just get your ultimate desired comfort seating position while you're driving, things like that. You have lumbar support and obviously can adjust the backrest as well. So it can get a really comfortable experience driving, and then you can...
I missed some stuff. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. This is what I want to see now.
All right, hop on in.
Yep. So first thing I like to point out when you come in here, I'm 6'1", almost 6'2", probably with these shoes on, and you can see I have this ceiling height here. You also have a soft touch ceiling as well, so same thing you would have in like a high-end Class A motorhome. So really nice finishes in here all around. It feels really luxury and quality. Then you have like the high gloss finishes on all your cabinetry that looks really nice as well. All soft close cabinets. You get the swivel seats up front, which a lot of people are going to like. And then they also have some cool features as well. Like this is something I was just playing around with. It might actually hit this area up here, but you have a couple adjustments here to actually change the seat height as well and just get your ultimate desired comfort seating position.
They're pretty expensive. They've never really, in my opinion, been something that you go towards if you are trying to find the lowest cost RV out there, because cost per square foot, a Class B is probably the most expensive of any RV you can buy.
Definitely.
And that being said, though, the quality that they try to give you for that cost is generally much higher than you would typically see in other RVs.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And as we move back to the small area that you have to work with, that they get real creative with their space. And then you have all of, I'll let him walk in here with the camera, but you're gonna have all your wardrobe closet space in here.
You're doing good. Let me turn some lighting on.
Cool. So yeah, this is basically what's gonna be your wardrobe closet there. And then you have the pull-out drawers underneath it.
Hate everything about it. It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Hey you guys, welcome back to another video. Behind me is a Thor Vegas. Thor Axis, same thing. Now Paulsbo RV here in Mount Vernon, Washington has a brand new 2023. I went ahead and reviewed, you were in Washington still when I reviewed a Thor Axis, I think it was. And that was a 29, I want to say it was like 2019. And that was the worst motor.
Let me see this. This guy seems enthusiastic.
This is the ultimate tiny home on wheels. Only this one you can take anywhere you want to go. I'm Steve Duval from Thor Motor Coach with the 2024 Vegas 24.1. This Class A motorhome measures in at 25 feet 8 inches long and has everything you need for great trips on the road. Now, the 24-1 is going to be outfitted a little differently than the other Vegas floor plans. For example, this has that wonderful north-to-south bed to make sure you're getting the Vegas you want with all the specs and features you need in your motorhome. Make sure you're checking with your local Thor Motor Coach dealer. You can get all the features on thormotorcoach.com, but right now we're going to see all the features of this 24-1. For 2024, the 24.1 gets this great new look. The decor is called London Fog to hang out on.
Dude, all I want to do is this.
Complete with a cup holder on one side, we have wireless charging over here. Then when you need kitchen table, and if you are traveling with the family, this makes a great kids table. Fridge. There's a nice amount of storage.
I don't want like a sale on an RV. I just want someone to be like, yo, check this out. Look at this one. Let me see it. The smallest one.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is the 2023 Thor Vegas model 24.1.
Okay.
Let's check it out. So there's an opening window right here on the passenger side. There's a camera right here in the side mirror. Down below.
I think if I did it, it would be a lifestyle change. Like I would probably have to quit what I do. Well, no, I would definitely have to quit what I do. I don't know if I could work for the company I work for anymore. If I did this is like a lifestyle. Like, hey, like I'm really like I'm going all in on myself. Like I'm fucking selling everything, fucking doing this, starting a YouTube channel, fucking yeah. This would be like a giant life change, which gets more appealing to me the older I get.
There's some storage that is lockable.
I have to pee. I'll be right back. Sorry.
Couple of opening windows right here. 2 110 outlets. Some more lockable storage. This compartment has the connection for your exterior grille. Gravity water fill up here. Check out the big awning above. Opening windows back here. And this is a pass-through lockable storage area. Nice big size. Moving to the rear, backup camera above. Some storage right there. Tow hitch below with 7-pin connection, and check out that clearance. Moving to the driver's side, opening windows right here. There's some storage right there. The Onan 4000 generator that is lockable. This is your fuel input, your flush, cable, 30 amp plug-in, city water connection, outdoor shower, opening windows here in the slide, storage compartment right there. Under the slide is the propane fill. Opening window right here for the driver. Camera on the side mirror.
I want one so bad. Let's go. Let's get one. Let's go buy one. I'm gonna fucking take this across the country.
All right, let's check out the interior of this RV. Screen door right here, grab handles, and let's step on in. And this is what it looks like inside.
I love it. TV's a bit much.
All right, let's start in the cockpit area. I do have to take a step up to enter. This is a big, generous sized seat, very plush. A couple of armrests on each side. Now there's a big cup holder for the driver here. There are power heated mirrors. There's some controls on the steering wheel. There's an opening window on the side here with a large screen. In the center, there's a touch screen.
Oh, I hope the audio system of this is boss, bro. I hope it is.
Below, there's a switch to start the generator. There's a cab light switch and the night shade switch. All right, let's check out the rest of this RV. Let's check out the living area now. Good sized sofa, very plush, comfortable. A cup holder right here on the side. There's a wireless charging pad over here.
I like it.
Now above there are 2 cabinets. Opens up into 1 unit. Below there are a couple of push on off lights, a couple of speakers. There are 2 110 outlets over there on the left.
Oh my God.
2 more 110 outlets over here on the right, and a light switch for the lighting above the cabinets. Pull down shade for privacy. Big window area with 2 separate windows below that open up awning style and has the screen. Now directly across from the seating area, there's the TV.
I want it so bad.
You can watch it while sitting here. There's also stands for the pedestal table, which is stored behind this seating area. And this seating area also transforms into a bed. Let me show you.
Not a great area for gaming,
So this
though.
is what it looks like when it's been made into a bed. Plenty of room for 2 people. Now this sofa and bed is located within the slide, and there are seat belts for 3 people. They are lap belts. On the side of me, they've put up this big mirror, and there are 2 110 outlets below. So when you have the pedestal tabletop up, you can plug in your devices. Now let's check out the kitchen.
Probably game right there. You probably have like your computer mounted like in the cabinets above you. You probably see cable like because you're not gonna have like 3 monitors or anything. Like you can make it work. You can make it work is what I'm trying to say.
So directly on the side of the upper cabinets is the BM Pro. Below there are 2 110 outlets and the master on-off switch.
It would be really cool to like fucking like if you could, right? It would be really cool to like set it up with a system where you just like push one button and it would just record. Right? So like yeah, like think about it. Like I could probably make it work. Like you have like one or 2 systems, but like one of them for sure would like manage your camera feeds. I would love to have like 4 camera feeds on each, like 4 GoPros, front, back, left, right, installed, wired up, push a button, it's recording. I could do that.
There's a decent amount of counter space here, especially since they have this countertop extension. The sink is covered, and it's a nice big round sink. The faucet is tall and curved and has this
All right,
nice
let me show you. Let me show you
spray.
what I'm talking about here. Hold on for a second.
Hi, I'm on this flight taking me from Montreal to Munich, which is supposedly supposed to be flown by Lufthansa, but they're kind of busy this summer, so they've given it to their vacation-oriented subsidiary.
What am I watching? Oh my God.
Good morning. I was just checking the road conditions, and looks like they're opening the road again today over the mountain. The way I want to go, it's been closed for a couple of days, but now they're gonna do convoy driving for the next few hours.
You seeing this?
So I'm gonna drive up there and see what happens. The weather could be good, could be bad. There's a lot of wind, but there's also sunshine, so it's just a very exposed road across the highest mountain plateau in Europe. Planning on camping up there. It's going to be mighty cold, but not as windy as it's been. It's been close to hurricane force up there, so a lot of snow probably came down if it settled with all that wind. So gonna have some breakfast now here, and then I'm gonna head up the mountain.
What? My man does like a lot of like outside of the van stuff, which is really cool, but like the inside of the van stuff is like way better, in my opinion. Like, show me how you're like, or like if like engaged outside. That's a great way of saying it. Engaged outside. If you're outside, like be in it. You know, like hey, look what we're doing. Aren't you in that van is like always ASMR. You just hear every fucking thing.
So it's time for dinner. While the storm is raging outside, I'm gonna make some sausage and cheese burritos today, or sausage and cheese wraps. Just a simple comfort meal today. Kind of hungry now after a real fun day. Driving up here was awesome. I was able to get up here without going in a convoy, and that makes it just so much easier to find a place to camp here. There's nobody else up here camping, but there's a lot of cars driving past.
Let me see more van life. Oh, she's the nomadic introvert is the first one that pops up. Isn't that crazy? Is she crushing it? Oh, she's doing really well. I think she's annoying as fuck, personally. 4 years later. Oh, let's see this.
This is Great White. I've been living inside
Outdoor
Great White for
embrace.
almost 4 years now.
I'm gonna be taking you guys inside my house today to show you around the old and new, and how the van stood up over the last 4 years. All links of items I used to build this van are in the description below. My name is Ryan Bell, and I chose to live in this 2002 Ford Econoline that I built into my own stealth RV. The outside is deceptively a work van, but the inside is my home. That was until I bought my...
It's not really deceptive. Like, it looks like a home, man.
...next van to build, and eventually I'll live in my future sailboat.
Like, maybe I'm... Oh, nice.
Van life is like a free hotel room wherever you go, allowing you to save money while working less hours, and it's highly accessible for anyone who wants to live differently from the normal 9 to 5. So this is where I would cook everything. So I would grab a pot from up here. Down here, I have this hole cut out just in case the bed is all the way out. You can actually still reach up under there for the propane tank. Open it up and then put the gas on and have the fire going. Just sit there and cook, and when I need to turn the flame off, I turn it off from down here first, so you let out all the gas from the line, then turn this one off, eat whatever I needed to do, and then wash things out with the little scrubby. So if I want to take a shower, just reach in here, grab the sink, you can pull it out a little bit more and just rinse off right here. I usually go to Planet Fitness though. This switch right here, I can switch the sink on, I can make it not do anything, and then there's another, it's actually a 3-way switch. Do you hear that? There's actually a pump from the outside that pumps water in to the tank. I don't know if you can see it very well because it's kind of dark, but the bottom one right here, it's 7 gallons of gray water, and the top one is 7 gallons of clean water, and those are both underneath the TV. Since there is a propane tank and it's not actually exterior vented, I do have this very loud alarm that goes off. Everyone around here probably just heard that. That's a propane leak detector. So now over here, I have basically my media studio set up. There is a full music studio in here, as you see the speakers on the side. This TV is rested on this towel. Like driving down the road, it doesn't bump up and down too much. Actually, there's something in the back here. You pull down this little thing right here, and it makes the TV come off the wall. And what I can do is angle it to where I can just, lay back on the bed and have a nice little watch of the TV or whatever. Look out the window, nice. On here I have lots of cords. This one's actually charging the GoPro back.
Big Ryan Toomey fan.
How long are you going to do van life? When are you going to settle down, get a house, a normal job, and have a family? This is a question I regularly get from friends and family, and even more often online. And I've never really thought much about the answer, but now here I am, moving out of the van that I've called home for over 4 years. Since I've decided to sell my van, I've heard from many other friends that they are also selling their van or quitting van life. And I feel like every time I go online, I see another person who's selling their van, quitting van life, or getting off the road. So I thought it was time to address the question that I've been seeing all over the internet: is van life dying?
Hey, what's up, bro? Hey-oh! Oh no! Shevin Munch. Shevin.
In the United States, the history of van life can be traced back to the 1920s, but it wasn't the movement it is today, where people are spending tens of thousands of dollars on a van that's built out to basically resemble a studio apartment. These old mobile homes weren't necessarily luxurious, but they...
I honestly couldn't think of something. I couldn't think of anything better. I really, I don't know, maybe catamaran life? Not even boat life, catamaran life. Very specific. Like, it's ridiculous.
The first reason why I think a lot of people are quitting van life is because of burnout. And I'm not just talking about any burnout, I'm specifically talking about travel burnout. I feel like people oftentimes get vacation with traveling confused. So when they think of travel or van life, they think of it as this relaxing break from work. And while vacation is that, traveling, especially full-time traveling, is not. If I'm being completely honest, I myself have faced burnout many times on the road. And I think that's because of something called decision fatigue. Decision fatigue is when we run out of energy because we've had to make too many decisions in a day. We have limited energy to
This is whiny bullshit.
make decisions, which is why people like Steve Jobs decide to wear the exact same shirt every day, because they think if they can eliminate that decision, then they have more energy to make other decisions. In van life, you have a lot of decisions to make. You have to figure out where you're going to park every night. You need to fill up your water jug, dump your pee tank, dump your shit. It's really disgusting. This is hands down the grossest job in van life. A lot of times you'll arrive at a campsite and then realize that online it was inaccurate and the campsite actually isn't open. So you have to go find another campsite. And you need to decide where you want to travel to. The country is so big and there's so many possibilities and so many beautiful things to see. So there's all these decisions you have to make when traveling just to even survive.
Oh my God. I have to decide the awesome place I have to go. Fucking
to have a nice place to sleep at night or to have water in your water tank. So it can get
my water, bro. Just get some water. Fuck.
Pretty overwhelming. This week going climbing was
I am not overwhelmed at all. I feel like I can do that pretty well. I feel like I mapped that out. I can map that out.
one of the best moments of my life. And so it does feel like wrong to also be feeling burnt out and homesick, trying my best to combat it and do things that make me happy and stuff, but ultimately I'm just really excited to go home. Second reason why I think people are quitting van life is because of breakdowns. And speaking of breakdowns, I actually need to replace this mirror, so let's do it. There's a spider on there. Go, friend, go. This isn't your home anymore, I'm sorry. In van life, it's just inevitable that things are going to go wrong and break. Whether it's something like this, or sometimes you'll have actual mechanical issues in your van. Whenever that car is your home, it's very scary. I fixed it. That was pretty easy, but not every task is that easy. I actually got rear-ended by a semi-truck, and so I couldn't open my
nipples, by the way, nipples.
My back doors for a couple
like right there.
months on the road, and it really impacted my quality of life those 2 months, and I couldn't imagine something worse happening. And then being in the middle of nowhere where you don't know anyone and it's a new place, like that's all really scary, and the possibility of that happening puts you in a really vulnerable position. I don't necessarily think that breakdowns are like the main reason that people get off the road, but I definitely think that if people face a lot of problems in their build or mechanical issues with their van, it can eventually lead to a lot of negative feelings about being on the road, which could prompt.
Wait, it just gives you more time, that's all. Wait, hold on. I mean, honestly, if women didn't worry about our appearance like men would, we would have more time to do shit. We are always late because our hair wouldn't. Dude, what are we talking about?
Someone to get off the road, I think.
I often think about like where I would pick up my Amazon packages. Like, where would I get them? How would I do taxes? How many times do you say like, what's your address? And you're like, oh, here. I mean, if I had to do this, the house is the house, everything's gone. The house is gone, the whole nine, right? Or is it? We'll see.
It's just my luck that basically right before I sell my van, this LCD screen went bad. Thankfully, though, I think it'll be a pretty easy fix. As van life becomes more popular, it also becomes more criminalized, unfortunately. Every time I go to a big city, there's inevitably going to be a million no overnight parking signs. And I've gotten multiple, like, $200 parking tickets, gotten the knock many times from cops.
Are you just hearing that? I feel like if you're doing a travel channel, you just write off everything, right? Like the whole thing is a write-off. Everything's a write-off at that point. Your internet, your van, your gas, fucking everything. You write the whole fucking thing off, right? It's your business. I think. I want to buy a van, bro.
Living in a van is just naturally a pretty alternative lifestyle, so people have a lot of divided opinions. You are going to have people that judge you in a good way, and they really admire the way you live. There's also people that really don't, and they hate the way you live, and you'd be surprised how passionate people are about it. They're actually very passionate. I actually had a friend who, this lady started screaming and cussing at her to get a job, which she did have a job. She actually worked at a local surf shop in that city, but that girl just made a lot of assumptions and told her to get a job and go back to where she came from, which she was also local to the area. It does wear on you to always feel unwelcomed wherever you go. And I understand why people don't like van lifers. Like, maybe if I lived in a house, I would understand that more. But people can be really mean, and I just feel like that is hard to deal with.
Running through your mind, you keep me in your pocket. It's so typical.
I finished cleaning out the van. This is the second time I've moved out of this van in the last few months, and the second time I will be painting this van. So the next step is to prep everything to paint. So I'm gonna just wipe down all the surfaces and countertops and everything.
But I'm also moving on. Who's it? Christian Schaefer. Oh, that was pretty dope.
My name is Christian Schaefer. I'm a photographer and filmmaker, and I'm now in my 6th year of living on the road full-time.
In May of 2018, I moved out of my apartment that was just outside of Seattle, Washington, and into my Nissan Xterra SUV for a summer, which turned into 14 months. Then I decided to purchase this van, which I've called home for more than 4 years now. I've already done 2 complete walkthroughs of my original build that you can go and watch if you want to see just how this van started out.
This video will be an overall walkthrough, but with emphasis on the changes and updates I've made since the rebuild. If you've been following me for a bit, you know about what happened this summer.
I just decided to start ripping flooring up because I was smelling some really concerning smells, and it's pretty bad, guys.
Most of the subflooring was soaked with water. It was a hugely stressful event. I would not wish it on anyone. The problem was a leak in the plumbing in a section between the cabinet and the actual metal van floor. So in a place where the leak wasn't visible and pretty much just went unnoticed for a really long time and did a lot of damage. I contacted my original builder and we wound up ripping out the entire bottom half of the van and doing a total rebuild. At this point, it's December, so I've now been living in the new remodel for about 4 months, and I've had some time to really test out the new build.
This van is a Ram ProMaster High Roof 1500 136 wheelbase with custom cut wheel wells for 245 all-terrain KO2 tires and aftermarket Sumo springs for added suspension. For this rebuild, we replaced the entire lower half of the van. I did consider a fixed bed this time around, but ultimately decided to keep the dinette setup. I love having the ability to completely transform my living space every day, and the office setup makes it much easier to edit for long stretches of time. At first glance, it might look kind of exact.
Dude, that editing thing is like a real fucking thing. Like, it's not easy to like, it's just to like make it all, put it together. It's a real fucking job, for real.
The same, but there are quite a few changes we made to really maximize space and make this van even more functional than before.
So one of the first things we did was redesign the dimensions of this walkway. We widened it by 2 inches, and then we also pushed the countertops in by 2 inches. So the bed is a little bit slimmer, but the trade-off is that I have a lot more space in the hallway where I can easily store my e-bike and still get in and out. One thing you may have noticed is that we got rid of the toe kick. So the toe kick, it was in the previous build a 3-inch space where your toe could slide underneath and you wouldn't stub your toe all the time. I decided to get rid of that in order to maximize space. I personally think it's been so worth it. I was able to add 2 more lithium batteries in the electrical compartment. We made the camera drawer so much bigger, and there was so much extra space that we just played with the dimensions over here a little bit and added an entire second drawer above the fridge. I wanted to repurpose and salvage as much as possible for this rebuild, so we were able to keep the upper cabinets, all of the lighting.
Oh, I want to subscribe. Oh shit, hold on. Subscribe. I love this. This is so good. I think I would have to do like all of the dishes every time. You don't think about this, but like that sucks. Laundromats. You can still like fucking choice video gaming on a laundromat, bro. Ah, so good.
Thank you very much.
Potable. Looks pretty fucking good, bro. Oh no. Oh.
Good morning. So last night, we actually stayed in an RV park because for some reason, and I didn't realize it, my solar panels had disconnected. So I wasn't getting power from my solar panels for 3 days. And yesterday afternoon, I realized that my power was super low. So it was like maybe a fourth of it left, but now I'm at full power because I've been charging all day and all night. It only takes like maybe 2 hours to get fully charged when I'm plugged in like that, but it was definitely nice to have this spot last night though and get that power. And I also ran my diesel heater all night long because it was 20 degrees last night in El Paso, Texas, so it was freezing. And it's still pretty cold out. It's like 35 out today, but it's not too bad. So it is currently 10:53. I gotta be out of here by 11 o'clock. But before I actually leave the park, I'm gonna go take advantage of the showers they have and take a quick shower.
Like us, who are like, hey.
This RV park actually had pretty good views. Got mountains that way, mountains back behind us. Would have been a little bit nicer if they weren't all blocked by RVs, but I think right in there is where the showers are. And I'm really hoping this building has some kind of heat because it is freezing out today.
I'm so interested by this shit.
There we go. Showers and laundry. Wish I had known they had laundry. I would have done some while I was here. Beautiful. Nice toilet, shower, and a mirror. That feels good. So I actually haven't started my day with a shower in so long. I've ended my days with showers after the gym and stuff, but I haven't been able to get up and take an actual shower first thing in the morning pretty much since I left. So this was pretty amazing. And I feel way better about starting my day like this. Beautiful day out here in Western Texas. All right, let's get out of this RV park and back into the wilderness. So for those of you keeping track on the journey from Key West all the way up to Alaska, so far, according to my car, I don't know if you can see it, but we've driven a total of 4,642.5 miles so far, and we still got a long way to go as we're pretty much directly next to the Mexican border. So although we're making progress, we are still pretty far, and I'm gonna be taking this trip as slowly as possible just because I don't want to get up to Alaska when it's covered in snow and the roads are horrible. So ideally the plan is right now that I'm gonna be there at the end of April, but that really depends on the weather and the road conditions and whether it's gonna be a smart idea to drive up there at that time. So I guess we'll see, and maybe worst case we'll have to push it back a month or so, but we're definitely going to make it to Alaska. So the spot that I'm currently headed to is like 30 minutes away, and since we're right on the edge of where the border of New Mexico and Texas is, it's technically in New Mexico. But it's down some dirt country road, and we're finally getting into some BLM camping. And I get a lot of people asking me, what is BLM camping? And it's basically just Bureau of Land Management. So the Bureau of Land Management manages a bunch of land all over the West Coast. And it's essentially free land where you can do whatever you want. You can camp, you can shoot guns, you can go out there and ride dirt bikes. And today, we're gonna be using it for camping.
Do you have fire on it?
All right, so right here is where it turns into the dirt road and heads back into the desert. So I've got about 3 miles down this dirt road until we get to the entrance of where all of the supposed camping spots are. So I'll check in with you guys once we get there. Okay, so this is it. This is where we should be able to go back and find a campsite for the night. All right, so I'm gonna pull in here and see if I can find something. All right, so I think I'm just gonna take this spot right here at the end of this kind of gravelly point. Definitely a pretty nice spot out here in the desert. Although it doesn't feel like the desert because it's really cold out here. We also got a pretty nice view from up here of the entire valley, the mountain ranges, pretty much surrounding us on every side. There's a bunch of animal poop though. Don't know what kind of animal that's from. But this is it. So it's just kind of like this gravel point out here on these
That'd be a bear,
kind of gravelly
right?
dune looking things. And that is going to be our home for the night. And the best thing about this spot is, at least so far, there's no bugs, so I can keep my doors open. Actually, you know what? I think I might turn around and back into the spot. So my doors open up over this view. Look at that. Such a nice view at the back. Whew. It is pretty cold out though. So I think before I do anything in the van, I'm gonna kind of walk around the spot, and I feel fine leaving it open and stuff because I'm not gonna wander too far, but there's also not a single soul out here. Doesn't really look like much, just a bunch of dirt roads that lead kind of to nowhere. All over the ground is trash, and specifically trash from shooting guns, like little ammo shells, ammo boxes, clay pigeons, that kind of stuff. So I guess a lot of people come up here to shoot guns, which is pretty common. A lot of the times when you go to BLM spots, there's a ton of just gun trash all over the place. So yeah, I guess there's really not that much around here. I mean, that mountain range in the distance and the view out here is unbelievable. There's the van all the way over there. But yeah, anyways, let's head back to the van, maybe play some video games. Look at her. Isn't she beautiful?
Kinda,
so before I hop on and start playing video games, I want to make myself a quick breakfast because I haven't eaten anything yet. And I actually do have really, really good internet speed up here. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm getting 340 megabytes per second up here on the top of this mountain in the desert because there is a tower that I can see down in the town right below us. So that's perfect. 400 megabytes per second is extremely good Wi-Fi. Those of you who don't know. So we definitely won't be lagging. And I'm not really cooking breakfast today. I'm just making some steel cut oats.
Pretty dope.
There we go. Nice, quick, simple breakfast. So for those of you who don't know, and maybe this is your first time watching my channel, I do have a couple of options for Wi-Fi and playing Xbox when I'm in kind of remote areas like this. So the first of which is just my phone, which is typically the fastest, especially when it's 5G, like it is right now. So I'm getting like 400 megabytes per second. And then I also have my Orbic Verizon hotspot as just kind of a backup that I have Velcroed to the wall right here. And then I also have an AT&T hotspot that's kind of mounted, so you can kind of see it back there, mounted to the wall right there in this cabinet. And I have it mounted in there because it has these big bright blue lights that would keep me from being able to fall asleep. So I mounted it inside the cabinet. But I'll pull up my phone real quick and we'll test the internet speed on all of them. So right now I'm connecting to All Data, which is the AT&T hotspot that I have up in my cabinet. And we're gonna see how fast the internet speeds are on that. So pretty good, not too bad. 12 megabytes per second, way slower than my phone, but more than doable for playing video games. I've played video games on 1 megabyte per second before. You really don't need a ton of data to play games. No. You just need a ton of data to download them, which is what I did yesterday. I updated and downloaded all of my games, so now they are finally all playable. And then the last one is my Orbic hotspot. All right, so I'm connected to my Verizon hotspot. Refresh this page and see what kind of internet speeds we're getting with that. Actually, not too good. We're only getting 2 megabytes per second on that one, which obviously isn't as good as my other two Wi-Fis, but even that is more than doable to play video games. So I think first I'm gonna hop into a game of Call of Duty and see how good the connection is and if there's any lag. And I'm playing with my headphones over my hood because it's kind of cold out today. Also, another cool thing about living in a van is that everything is within arm's reach, so if I ever need a drink, I can just open up this fridge. It doesn't open up all the way, but it opens up enough for me to reach in and grab something, and I can just grab myself a drink. And then if I get hungry, my pantry's right here, so I can reach in and grab a snack. So it's pretty cool. It's like the ultimate gaming setup. And I get a spectacular view out of my window. And right now we're getting 60 ping, which isn't the best, but it's also really not the worst. All right, so I just got finished my second game, and it's actually pretty cold out. I think it's like 39 degrees out. So I turned on my little diesel heater, and I just pointed it right towards me, and it's blowing out such nice warm air. It feels so good. And I don't really care about the heat loss through the doors at all. Right. Because it's just kind of keeping me warm right now. While I play games, and then I'll turn it off a little bit later, and then kick it on again when I go to bed. Because I filled up my diesel tank for my diesel heater yesterday, so I'm full on fuel. So I also just recently re-downloaded Rocket League, so I'm gonna hop in there and see if I can play a few games of that too. Ew. There we go.
Ew.
There we go. First game, not too bad. I think I only need one more game to get my placement, so I'm gonna play that real quick and see where we're placed, and then maybe make some lunch. All right, we got placed in Platinum 2. It's not bad for not having played in like a year and a half, but I think I'm gonna get these doors closed and just keep the windows open because it is getting kind of cold in there now, and it's only supposed to get colder tonight from here on out. This is like the coldest night it's been so far in El Paso in the last 3 days since I've been here, so kind of sucks that tonight was the night that it had to be cold. But whatever. Still nice to be out here and enjoy the nice views. All right, so I've had the heater running for about 10 minutes back here with the doors closed, and it's already 75 degrees, and it's 40 degrees outside. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off, and then kick it on again later when it gets super cold tonight, because it's supposed to get down to like 23, 22. I think for now, I'm just gonna make myself a quick lunch, and I still have some taco meat left over from those Doritos Locos tacos, so I'm just gonna make myself a quick burrito.
He's been working at taco meat for a while, bro. Something with that guy's taco with his uncle or something.
So one of the other things that I don't feel like is kind of talked about a lot in the van life social media world is that even though these spots can be super beautiful like this one, views of the mountains, no people around, peace and quiet, there really isn't that much to do once you get to them. Second to admiring how beautiful they are. So you might be thinking to yourself, Ryan, why would you come to such a beautiful spot just to sit there and play video games? Hang on, actually I need a drink real quick. God, it's so warm in the van. Feels so good in there. But what I was saying, the answer for me is kind of twofold. So I've been traveling for 2 years, and I've stayed at probably 100 or so spots that are just like this, or maybe even better than this. And there comes a point where after a while, the novelty of it kind of wears off. So it's not as exciting after 2 years, but I still do enjoy it. I'm just not gonna come up here and spend an entire day staring out over a valley, because the second reason is, if there's not much else to do, you can only stare at a view for so long before you kind of get tired of it. So that is essentially my answer to why I would come up here and just play video games and not sit out here all day. Also, it's like freezing cold outside. It's like 35 degrees, so wouldn't be the most fun just sitting out here all day. But it definitely is nice to be able to come out here and enjoy a meal. That is definitely one thing I will always step out of the van to enjoy a view with, is a meal. I will say, though, that even though the novelty of it is kind of worn off, sitting up here in complete silence and just being able to appreciate the beauty of this country is pretty spectacular. Before I lived in the van, I never truly realized how breathtaking so much of America's landscape is. But man, it is cold out here, so I think I'm gonna head back in the van and probably just play video games until the sunset.
What a day. I'll play fucking video games until sunset, where I start a fire and drink.
Games. I think it's time to hop off. It's been about 2.5 hours of playing video games. For those of you who are curious, I played for probably 3.5-ish hours total, and I started out with pretty much a full battery bank in the van. And right now I currently have 232 out of 250, so just about a little bit more than 1/6 of my battery that I used playing for 3.5 hours. And that was with these lights on for most of the time, which used twice the power that my entire Xbox setup uses. So in reality, it probably should have been a lot less power used than I did. But even with these lights on, it used basically no power, and I could play all night long into the morning if I really wanted to. But we can't do that because I don't want to melt my brain or my eyeballs. So I think I'm gonna make some dinner. But before I do that, I want to take you guys outside because you probably can't see anything, but it is now dark out. But the entire city skyline you can see out in the distance, and it looks pretty cool. So I'm gonna go show you guys that. I hope that you guys are gonna be able to see it too. It's real creepy. But look at that. It's like that. You can't see my finger. You can kind of see it in this if I block the light.
You can.
That is like
the
entire city down below us. And it looks so cool being up here. It feels like I'm in like a airplane or something. Anyways, it is super dark and creepy out here, so I'm gonna go inside. But I think for dinner tonight, I am just going to make some chicken noodle soup. So I'm gonna keep this recipe super simple and just do it all in one pot because I think I have all of the ingredients that I need to make some chicken noodle soup. All right, that's basically brown. Added the pasta, veggies, and then the chicken. There we go. Cooking up nice. All right, I think that is just about done. It's a very hearty soup. And I like making it like this where it's less broth and mostly just kind of noodles, veggies, and chicken because it stores easier. And then with my leftovers, I can just add more chicken broth to my cooked chicken noodle soup later
chicken noodle soup.
and heat it up in the pot. And it's just as good, so I never use a ton of chicken broth when I actually cook the chicken noodle soup.
I love it.
Also, for those of you who are
Nicole.
curious what my power setup is like, if you're trying to gauge how much you want to put in your van, if you're thinking about building a van, I have 300 amp hours of lithium batteries in my battery bank. I have 600 watts of solar on my roof, and I have a 30 amp DC to DC charger that charges my battery bank while my van is on. And I'm actually thinking about upgrading that one or getting a second alternator soon. So that I can get more of a charge when I'm driving the van because 30 amps really isn't that much. But so far on my trip, it has been more than enough. I typically never go below half of what my battery bank is. So I think if you wanted the same setup, you'd be more than fine with half of the battery capacity that I have with a similar solar setup and a similar battery charger. If you wanted a similar setup like me, I would think you wouldn't need more than 150 amp hours to be able to play Xbox or game or do whatever you want in the van without really having to think about it. A lot of the times, most of my charging comes from the fact that I drive around so much and that it's constantly recharging while the van's running. So that is also something to think about. Anyways, that's another dinner down, alone on the road. I think I'm probably just going to clean up and then maybe watch a movie or play some more Xbox. So as always, I appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't already, think about clicking that subscribe button. It really does help out the channel. And I will catch you guys next time.
Best day ever. Oh, look at me live. Okay. Best day ever. Oh, look at me live. Okay. Oh, God. I'll go on forever now.
What's up, everybody? All right, I'm here with Shane.
What's up?
What up, man? We got that light. You just look like a mythical creature. Isn't it great? It's amazing. He's got an amazing van that he has done, and he actually just told me that you're actually selling this now.
We're selling it.
You're selling it. So we're gonna get into actually pricing on this one because I never talk price, but we're gonna actually ask him about some pricing. Stay tuned for this entire van. It is a beast of a machine. Wait until you hear about the name and everything about it. Here we go. Shane, dude, what up?
What's happening, my man?
Dude, last time I had you on the channel, it's been a while.
It's been a little bit.
Talk to me about what you got. Actually, even before we get into the van, tell me, you got Landship, it used to be called Customs, now it's Landship Vans is what you just told me.
Yeah, my company's called Landship Vans. I have a background in electrical, solar, plumbing, and I used to live in vans for years, and then I partner up with really high-end custom woodworkers, and we just build one-of-a-kind masterpieces, if I say so myself.
That's a bold statement.
That's a pretty bold statement. I mean, I think they're pretty awesome.
That's great.
No, they're great.
Power systems that are too big. You don't need them to be that big, but we like them big.
No, everything's better.
We just like, I mean, this one, the last one we built was really, really out there. Lots of crazy stuff. This one's a little more dead sexy zombie killer vibe.
So this is your apocalypse machine.
Yeah, so this is the Landship Apocalypse Mobile.
What chassis are we sitting on?
So this is a 170 2021 Mercedes Sprinter, 2-inch lift, agile suspension, Black Rhino wheels, upgraded tires, backwoods mods racks, Fiamma awning, the big bumper, big old winch. It's pretty much got all the stuff to be able to mow down zombies in an apocalypse.
Usually we tour the outside of the van at the end, and we're gonna tour the outside at the end.
Cool.
But I will say at the beginning, like I said at the top of the video, we're gonna talk a little bit about pricing. You know, give me an estimate on just outside components that has been spent.
Just the suspension, wheels, and tires, and racks, and winches, and all that crap. It's like 20K plus.
I was actually gonna say more like 30, maybe 35. You're not even including labor then.
Right, correct. So I'm not including all my blood, sweat, and tears.
We didn't talk about the vinyl.
Oh, yeah, and then it has a badass wrap on it, too.
Yeah, you have a wrap on it. Like I said, we're going to talk a little bit about price, so that was an estimate for everybody out there for that, because I know you're going to be a little embarrassed about this, but this is over 200,000.
Yeah, for sure. Just the car alone, with all the upgrades, is like $100,000 car.
I was about to say, in the state of California, which is where we are, a 4x4 Sprinter sitting empty, brand new, 75 grand.
If you go to the dealer, they're charging 85 for them right now.
Right now
and
they
then
are.
With all the like extra like sensors and automated driving and all the crap that they throw in, that, you know, it adds up pretty quick. We try to do all the woodworking super custom. So
Which you did.
It's not like a CNC'd kit that just gets thrown together real fast. Real traditional woodworkers that are trained in their craft, like putting beautiful wood together.
Well, let's step on in right at the beginning of this sliding door. Do you mind turning the lights on? Because I guarantee you people are going to start yelling at us.
Oh, yeah. We don't want angry people. So
you got a lot of lights.
We got a lot of lights. We found these cool, like, square LEDs, and then we like built the whole motif of the ceiling around this kind of square shape.
I like it.
So we find all these squares, these like pop push handles, and like we really like try to take a specific motif and like use it throughout the whole van. The ceiling has this type of shape, and then the backsplash on the kitchen has this angular shape.
Well, you've already touched on the design a little bit. I want to ask you about this layout. The layout is a little bit different only because of what's happening right here.
This is a pretty standard layout, as you guys probably know.
But what's interesting is it doesn't come out.
Right, so a lot of people push this thing out far.
I'm low-key loving that it doesn't.
Yeah, so we actually originally built this thing for a client, and he just hated having the kitchen out in front of the door. Just decided to turn a fold out instead, and it's actually really nice having this big open space. You can pull stuff in, you can store more stuff, you can put I don't know, like
you can do gear right.
You can do gear right there.
It's a lot of different options.
It's a nice little touch, I would say. And you still have a big kitchen space. And you don't have to look at a big ugly kitchen back from the outside.
You've got this simple bench setup. There's nothing simple about it, but you know, obviously the lagoon, it's been done or whatever.
You know.
But what I find interesting is you have 2 refrigerators in here.
Yeah, our client originally, and just to get it off, you know, why is a guy building an epic van and selling it? I got Nate. He's an amazing dude. He traveled around all over for 6 months in this thing, saw everything, met a girl, and then just decided to travel internationally and is like bouncing all over the world with her. Man, I just want to pass this on to somebody who's going to use it more. And luckily, he battle tested it, and then I just, you know, made sure everything was dialed, and now here we are. It has, I think, 11,000 miles on it, so it's still under warranty. Everything is
cool,
pretty much good to go.
Look at this. I can actually step over here.
Yeah.
They have 2 refrigerators. You got this bench.
This is a tried and true layout, but what is not tried and true is trying to fit 2 fridges and a slide out composting toilet that goes into a shower room all in one bench when you have 16 kilowatt hours of battery storage and 2 inverters for 6,000 watts of
You just
power.
gave us a whole lot of information that we're...
So every freaking eighth of an inch was accounted for on this side of the van. So when you pull this thing out, so Nate was a big meat guy. So he wanted an entire chest freezer full of his goodies. Move this out of the way. You have this whole zone, which can be one giant freezer or a big fridge. And then we have this second fridge right here, which was his
just regular fridge.
For sure. So you can store a lot of food in here. If you're hunting elk, butcher it up, throw a good part of it in there, be good to go for the apocalypse, obviously.
Obviously.
So when you're killing zombies, you need a lot of food. So what's tough is figuring out how to fit a big fridge and a composting toilet in under one bench. Putting a fridge under a bench, everyone does that. Not so hard. Putting a fridge and a slide-out Landship shit bucket, the LSSB, under a bench, not such an easy task.
You're very proud of this.
This is my pride and joy.
The
LSSB.
Because even in your other van that I toured,
yes,
you had your own. You made your own make.
Hey, who replaced my cat with Morris Chestnut?
What? What?
"24 hours, Bubby." You ready? What's up, guys? So, as you can see, I'm back in the snow again because I made a choice. I was about to head south and I was like, let me check the weather. And I saw that there was a snowstorm coming in northern Utah. And I was like, I need to at least go get one more before I head to like the desert. So I took a 3-hour drive and here I am back in northern Utah in the snow on purpose. And I'm wearing a t-shirt right now, not because it's warm. Well, it is warm, but because I'm using my Mr. Buddy. It works when it works. But right now, this is gonna be a very straightforward video. I just woke up, it's snowing, I'm happy. I'm gonna make some breakfast and I'm actually gonna answer more. He's so stressful.
My man's doing it, bro. Good for him.
All right, so yesterday I tried to go up north to a spot that I found on iOverlander. When I got there, it was like snowing like crazy and the spot was completely snowed out. Like there was no way to, it was just ice and snow everywhere. I just couldn't have gotten through it. So I had to turn around and come back here. It's still snowing here and it will be all day. And it's very cold.
All right, I'm going to bed.
I was kind of bummed out about the fact that I wasn't able to go to that spot because it was a really nice spot. It was right next to a lake and I was going to get some good content there. So when I got back here, suffice it to say, I was pretty bummed out. But I decided to make the